Good morning, students. Now we are going to move ahead with our next topics. Like here in front of you, it is aids or auxiliaries to trade. So, what does this word mean to you? Auxiliaries to trade means auxiliaries are the support which is being provided to the trade activities here. Okay, so whenever some trade is going on, means goods and services will be sold. So here there will be some auxiliaries, which means it will just be giving some kind of support to the business. Okay, just like banking, insurance, because this banking services are also very important. If somebody is doing business, then definitely he will be requiring some cash for this business operating activity. So that small time requirement of that cash is a short term finance which will be provided by the bank. So here the bank is very useful. Same way, if anything wrong happens in the company, suppose a company somehow the goods in the company catches fire over there, so what can we do? If the goods will be burned, then it will be like a loss for us. So what we can do in this case, we can simply take insurance. What type of insurance? General insurance. Usually, general insurance will be of 1 year time period. Then, for the next year, again you will have to take new insurance. Now, this is general insurance. At the same point of time, we can extend it to the time period we want. Now, insurance is been given just like fire insurance we are talking about. So, it will be considered here that how much goods are there, and according to that how much amount of insurance you require. So that is how insurance is being taken. Now let us read the activities which help in smooth flow of trade are known as aids to trade. This activity makes buying and selling of goods more easy. These activities known as the services and together constitute service sector or tertiary sector. So here we can say that all this trade activity which goes on, they are also called as the service sector or the tertiary sector. So this service sector, tertiary sector provides various helps, or these activities provide various helps in the process of buying and selling of goods. Just like if a company is there, now it want to manufacture something or they want to buy raw material from somewhere. So definitely they will need some finance. So that finance will be given by the bank. And similarly, if a person is there, he wants to buy some goods like a car or maybe a refrigerator or a television. So in this case, he can take personal finance from the loans. So here, these auxiliaries, we can see that they are just supporting that this buying and selling of goods. So these auxiliaries are just like a support for all these various activity of commerce. Now these help in removing various hindrances of the trade which arise in the production and distribution of the goods. Now here this all these services, they are able to remove all the drawbacks which arise in the production activities and distribution of goods activities. The common auxiliaries or aids to trade are: the first one is transportation and communication. So the first thing which comes to we should come to our mind is the transportation and communication. The transportation refers to the movement of goods from one place to another. The production of goods take place at one place, whereas these are demanded in the different parts of the country. Now here what happens, how transport helps, because see, manufacturing is being done at some other place and the demand is at some other place. Say for example, if a company is there in Mumbai but the demand is there in Ratlam or in other places, so it is a long distance. So how is it possible for the goods to come at the place where it is required? Like demand is here in other states, so the transport activity will be there. There will be some companies which will be operating in this industry. So this transport industry is also called as logistic industry, and this logistic industry helps in the moment of goods and services. and these goods and services will be delivered from one place to the other. That is the reason we can easily find any kind of good which we require around us in the retail shops, and we don't have to go to the places where they are manufactured. Like we don't go to Mumbai for purchasing a packet of biscuit or a pencil. We can purchase at a retail shop. So how these retail shop used to get these things? Because something is helping here. That help is been provided here by transportation companies. Okay. Now the obstacle of the place is removed by the transport. Now see, this is the obstacle, this is a problem. In distribution of goods, obstacle of place means place, it is very it is one of the most critical thing to distribute the good to the other places. So this hindrance is been removed here. This kind of obstacle is the kind of thing which stops you or creates problem. So that is been removed because of this transportation. For example, tea is produced in Assam. Now Assam is at a very far distance, like they are in the eastern areas like Darjeeling, but it is consumed in all parts of the country. This is made possible only because of transport. Transport is also helpful in movement of raw material and other resources to the industries and factory. Labor is also moved from one place to another with the help of transport. Now if we talk about the labor, raw materials, just like the Assam, in Assam the tea is been made. So how these products are coming from that place to here? Because there is process of transportation or activity of transportation which is going on. Because of that, we can easily get these things around us, and even the labor is being transported from one place to another. Even buses are used by the employees to travel from one place to the another. So these are of good use. Now we'll continue. Along with transport, communication is also an important service. Communication helps in exchange of information between producer, consumer, and traders. The common communication services are postal services, telephone service, telephone service, fax, internet. Now see, when these different types of business are at different areas, so they will have to communicate with each other. Suppose we are running a company and we want to buy raw material, then we'll have to contact that other company which is situated at some other place. So how are you going to contact? How are you going to communicate? Today, the very simplest mean is by email you can send, or by fax you can send. We are using today, in today's time, these emails are used because internet connectivity is everywhere, and we can easily use internet for just processing these orders. We can just put the order to the company, and they will be answering through this email, because internet will be there also. So they are also using this internet. Same way, in the earlier days, it was postal services. So there were letters or telegrams which will be used by the company at the in the earlier days, or telephones will be used. But in today's scenario, we have seen that these companies are using this internet facility and email facilities they are having. So they just put the orders with the vendors, and the vendors used to supply them the goods or raw material which they require. So communication is also very important. Similarly, if we'll talk that company communicates with the customers or not, so definitely through the internet we can also send these mails if any problem is there with the product. So we can also communicate to the company, because in every company's website there will be some feedback column will be there, or feedback link will be there, upon which we can click, or we can complain over there. So we can do anything, we can inform the company about that because of internet. So even the customer can uh, put his complaint across. Same way, these companies can also talk with each other by the help of all these communication facilities. Now, second point is banking and finance. Banks and financial institutions provide credit facility, loan, etc. to provide finance for smooth flow of business activity. Now, bank help businessmen to overcome the problem of funds. Along with the provision of funds, the commercial banks provide many other facilities such as collection and deposition of checks, issue of the bank draft, discounting of bills of exchange, etc. The banks also provide the facility of overdraft, cash credit limit, arrangement and payment in foreign currency in case of foreign trade. Now, banking and finance is very important. Banking does the activity of the finance. Finance means arrangement of fund by a company. So bank used to provide such kind of money which is nothing but a finance. Okay, so they call it credit. Why credit? Because these banks gives you money and it is a type of loan, so they will say that it is a credit which is given to you. And the when something is given on credit, definitely the bank will ask the money back one day along with interest. So this is how they provide this credit facility. So here now bank helps the businessman to overcome the problem of funds. So anywhere if any businessman is having problems with the funds, suppose he's not having enough funds in the company, then he can approach the banks, and banks will definitely going to help them. Similarly, if a company is there and it is earning some kind of income in form of checks, so what to do with such kind of checks? Such kind of checks will be deposit in the banks, and then banks are going to take money from the concerned bank. Like if you are putting a check of Bank of Baroda in the company, and that company is having an account in SBI, so what will happen? The SBI is going to credit the amount, and they were going to take this money from Bank of Baroda, and they are going to credit their account of their customers. So this is how this check facility works. Now there are some other facilities also, like issue of bank draft. Bank draft, for making this bank draft, the bank charges a nominal fee. It is also just like when we want to do the payment, this bank draft or demand draft can be uh, drawn or made by the concerned person from the bank, and it can be encashed in the other banks. Similarly, the discounting of bills of exchange. So what does this word mean, discounting of bills of exchange? Bills of exchange is nothing, it's a document, a paper in which the amount which is sold in the credit is it is written. Like suppose you have sold some goods on credit for rupees 10,000 to someone, so there will be a paper. This is called as bills of exchange, which will be like an proof for you that you have sold 10,000 rupee of goods to someone on credit, and he's going to pay back to you in 3 months or 2 months. So there will be some time period written on this bills of exchange. Now what happens? Suppose you need money in 10 days time period. So what are you going to do here? So simply you can just take this thing and you can go to the bank and tell them that we I want to do the discounting of these bills. So what these banks are going to do, they are going to take that bills from you, and then they are going to discount it. Means suppose you are getting you are supposed to take 10,000 rupees, so they are not going to give you 100%, but they will be giving you 95% of the money. And then your task is over, you can go with your 95% of amount of money. Now this the remaining 5% which is bank has not given to you, so that 5% is the income of the bank. Understand it in this way. Okay, so that 5% is nothing but the profit of the bank. So this is how the discounting of bills is done. Now the bank also provides the facility of overdraft and credit limit. Now overdraft and credit limit are the facility. Overdraft means suppose you are running a business again. Okay, and suppose you need cash for rupees 10, so say for example 20,000 you need. So what they are going to do, they are going to just provide that money to you, and your account will be debited by that amount. So your account, if you check through the ATM, your account will be in minus 20,000. So why does this thing happen? Because you have done overdraft. Overdraft means taking some extra money from the bank because there was no cash. So bank provide based on your credit worthiness. If you are doing good transaction with the bank, and then bank understand that at this time you need money, so they will be giving you that, but your account will be debited by 20,000, so it will be shown in minus. And when the money will come to you, you can just deposit it in the bank, again they will credit that amount, so that figure will not be in minus anymore. Okay. Now the cash credit limit is also there. So this cash credit limit, cash will be provided to you, but there will be a limit. Suppose they'll look at the transaction, and the bank will decide that how much credit they can give in form of cash. So there is a limit. It is not like you can take as much as amount as you want from the banks. No, there will be some limit. Suppose your transaction on an average is 2 lakh rupees, so you are going to get this credit around 1 lakh or 1 lakh 30,000, not more than that. So there will be a limit to the transaction which you are doing. Now, arrangement and payment in foreign currency. Now, the last point is for about foreign currency. Suppose you are a importer of some good and you are importing goods from USA, say for example iPhones. So, what will happen in this case? You will have to make the payment in form of dollars to the people in USA. So, this is the job which will be done by the bank. So, they also helped in the payment to the other countries in form of their currency. Example dollar. Okay, so they help in foreign trade also. Just like that, export are also been done. For this export also the same process is done. This is how the banks are very important to us. Now third is insurance. The businessmen have to bear various type of risk. Insurance provide protection from some kind of risk such as the risk of loss due to fire, theft, accident, etc. The insurance company provide protection to the employees also against the risk of accident while working. Businessmen have to pay a nominal amount of premium and return they get compensation for the loss from the insurance company. Now what is insurance? See, in every business risk is there. So insurance just provide a protection in various kind of losses such as loss by fire, and somebody is just taken something from you, or a thief was there who has taken some parts of your company and sold in the market, but it will be your loss if thieves are coming and taking out something from your company. So still it will be a kind of loss. Then after this accident we can be there. So if any accidental damage are there, so all, for all this thing insurance is taken. What is insurance? There will be some a premium amount which will be paid by a person. Okay, so that premium amount will be the kind of thing which will be paid monthly or yearly, half yearly, depends upon the contracts of agreement between the insurance company, the insurer and the insured. Okay, so this insurer is the person or the company which will be providing you the insurance, and insured will be the person who has taken that insurance. Now here it cannot be a person, it can be a company also, person also can, it can be. So both the terms are interchangeable. So insurance is, it is not like that it is only taken by a person. Company also take insurance because company is an artificial person, it is like an artificial person in the eyes of the law. Okay, according to the Indian Company Act 1956, what is there? That company will has given this identity that it will be called as an artificial person. So company can also buy insurance just like you and I can buy insurance. So you'll have to pay that, make sure that you are paying premium, that small sum of money to them, and what they will give you in exchange, they will be giving you protection. If any loss will happen in the future, suppose fire has struck out and your all the goods you are having were burnt in it, now you're in loss. So what you can do, you can claim for that in this insurance company, then insurance company will going to give money to you. So again, in this case, when you'll get the money, your all your losses will be made good by this insurance company. So this is the use of this insurance. The warehousing, next point. Usually there is a time gap between the production and consumption of the goods. Goods are not consumed immediately when these are produced. For example, wheat, rice, etc. produced in the particular season, but these are consumed throughout the year, so that these are to be stored. A special arrangement has to be made for storing the goods to prevent the loss and keep them fresh. Warehousing helps the businessman to overcome the problem of storage. Warehouses are constructed keeping in mind the nature of the goods, warehouse facility, and the availability of the good whenever required. So here it is, this nature of good is very important for this warehouse purpose. These are big areas which are being offered by some person who is running such a kind of facility or a service of warehousing. Suppose any kind of company is there, such as ice cream company is there. Now for that they need a cold storage. So why they need a cold storage? Because ice cream, if the ice cream melts, then there will be no value for that ice cream in the market. Nobody is going to purchase a melted ice cream. So for that, to keep it fresh, they will need to refrigerate it. So some cold storage warehouses are there where in the various cities where it will be transported from the city or from the state in which they are manufactured. So the transportation will be done. So it must be taken due care that while transportation the vehicle or the truck which will be used, it must also have that facility for ice cream for cold storage ones. Then only it is possible that on the way that ice cream is not going to melt. In so such kind of vehicles are used, and these vehicles will be coming to this warehouse, then they are going to unload all such kind of goods, so it will be kept over there. So different types of warehouse at different places are there, so that these all these companies are easily able to meet the requirement or the demand at every place. Like suppose any place is there and all these warehouses are there. So suppose the retailer asking or demanding for these ice creams, so from where we are going to supply them, because already we have transported from the company to these warehouses which are near such a kind of places. There are so many warehouses which are being used by the companies. Just in the case of Coca-Cola and Pepsi, you can observe that there are so many warehouses for these which are working for these particular companies. Now easily the supply can be done by simply placing a order. So any if any wholesaler is there, he's going to place the order, and that wholesaler is going to sell to the retailer. But to the wholesaler, this thing will come directly from the manufacturer. Okay, so they can purchase. So but this warehouse very are very important. The company they will have to use, all these businesses use this warehouse facility, as they provide easily availability of goods in the market where they are selling their goods. But it is to be taken that nature of the goods here is very important. Just like vegetable, again you need a cold storage kind of thing. And for the there are some goods we don't require such kind of facility. Like it can be a packet of biscuits, or you can say some tools or computer parts. So for all these plastic goods they don't need cold storage. So but warehouse will be there. Okay, warehouse will be there and it will be used for all these purposes. Now advertising. Now what is advertising? This auxiliary, you will have to remember each and every auxiliary should be there in your mind, and you should know the meaning of it. Now this advertising is what you must have heard about advertisement. You must have seen this advertisement ads on the television. So why they are made, what are their use, we are going to know about it. Now, practically, it is impossible for a manufacturer and trader to contact each and every customer. Very truly said that the manufacturer is making its product, but it is very important to tell the consumer that I am making this product. Do you want to buy it? This is a question, but a manufacturer cannot directly contact a consumer. Now advertisement helps to overcome this problem. Now this problem of communication between company and this consumer is solved by advertisement. Goods are advertised to inform the consumer about their uses, quality and prices. Now here this all this information will be made good by this advertisement companies. They are going to tell you that what is the product all about, what is its quality, what are its specification of the products, and the prices also. You must have seen many advertisement like that. You must have seen the advertisement of the car in which the price of the car will be written over there. Quality and specification will be described orally in the advertisements. Here, advertisement spreads awareness among the consumers regarding new goods and their uses. So, whenever a new product is launched, advertisement is very important to give the information or to provide the information to the peoples. Because if a person is not aware of availability of such a good in the market, then he will not buy it because he is not having any kind of information. So every company uses advertisement, more or less that depends on the spending ability of the firm. Some companies spend a lot of money on this advertisements, hoardings, newspapers, you may find magazines, you may find advertisement in magazines, internet you will find advertisement. So this company pay money in order to advertise their goods. Now advertisement directly promote the sale of goods. Now because of this advertisement, what happens, the sale of goods start. It is very good technique of the sales promotion. and improve the knowledge of the customer. So this is a very good technique to sell the product, and inform customer will definitely come for your product, and he will buy it. So it actually helps in sales promotion. Sales promotion is a technique which is used by the company. So advertisement is the kind of thing which is being used in the sales promotion. This leads to some extra sales generation by all these companies. So we have covered this part today about the auxiliary, and this is very important. So just go through the topic once again if you are confused. Till then, thank you. I'll be seeing you in the next class.